Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Roll. Everything looks a little bit different from the last time you've watched. We finished up the last campaign, and we've decided we weren't quite done with the Knights Who Say Poi. So, I've decided we're going to run the Tyranny of Dragons, but we're going to do a weird amalgamation of it. We're going to run through the whole thing, but it's not going to be as it is in the books. So, if we change a little bit from the books, just know it was changed on purpose. That being said, to introduce you to a new player, this is Will.
Hi.
And this is going to be Will's one shot to get him introduced into this world and get him introduced into what's going to happen and to get him introduced up to the point to meeting the Knights Who Say Poi. So, that being said, I think we're going to go ahead and dive right in. Will, you want to tell people about your character a little bit?
He's a cleric. He made me start at level 6 for story reasons. His name is Aaron Stonebridge, and he's a City Watch member.
There you go. Well, I guess we'll just dive right into it, and I'll start reading what I've got written here for you. Mm-hmm. All right. It is a hot midsummer's day. The only reprieve from the heat is a small cloud that passes in front of the sun. A sound of metal ringing fills the air as men, women, and children alike pass by a small blacksmith shop. A young man by the name of Aaron Stonebridge hammers away at a glowing piece of metal, attempting to shape it to the edge of a sword, absent-mindedly working, unaware of the danger that comes by both land and sky. Aaron Stonebridge finishes setting the last bit of filigree in the sword's handle before giving it one final polish and laying it in the case which he painstakingly made for this fine piece of armament. As he closes the lid, he hears a rustling from behind him as he turns to see the owner of the blacksmith shop, Mr. Orbrin. Good job, Aaron. I'd say this is your finest piece yet. Don't laugh at my voices.
Thank you, kind sir. I've worked very hard and diligently on this piece of metal.
Yep. When you're done here, I need you to deliver this sword to the governor at his manor in the center of town. When you get back, we can talk about your internship coming to an end and you becoming a licensed smithy. I'm sure your father'd be proud.
I hope he is.
So, are you going to finish up here? Go ahead and take your fine piece of armament to the governor, or is there something else you want to do while you're still at the blacksmith shop?
No, I think I'll pick up the sword and get going.
Okay. Well, as you leave the blacksmith shop, you notice your hometown that you've grown up in most of your life. At least most of it that you can remember. The town of Greenest, which the history you're still a little vague on. You remember there's something about a halfling woman, but that's about as much as you can remember. Small dirt roads line heading off in different directions and everything, but you know exactly which way it is to the governor's manor. After making your way through the town to the governor's, you are greeted by the sight of a manor, a large 2-story house with a large ornate oak double door with intricate brass fittings in front. After walking up and knocking with the large brass knocker. Hello, can you hear us? Sorry, headphone users. After knocking with the large brass knocker, it is answered by a man wearing a nice but plain set of clothes. After introducing yourself, the butler invites you in and asks you to wait in the foyer. After a few moments of waiting, I cannot talk today, it's also early for me. Aaron, you hear the sounds of footsteps coming down the central staircase. The man from...
We're going to edit this out, don't worry about it.
This is bad YouTube. I don't do any editing on these. The fuck are you talking about?
Never mind.
I'm just going to silence my phone is what I'm going to do. Ignore that. You never saw anything. You hear steps coming down from the central footcase and the man from before saying, "Introducing his lordship, Governor Tarball, Nighthill! My lord, this is the smithy's apprentice, come to deliver your sword. As you look off to the side, you see a man who you can only guess to be Tarball Nighthill, the governor of your small town. A man probably about in his mid to late 50s, long, brown but peppered hair, intricate and fine blue and gold robes flow off of him. As he looks down at you, he says, "Thank you, young man. This will make a fine addition to my personal arsenal. I can tell a lot of time and hard work has went into this. You must be a fine craftsman indeed."
I was trained well.
Is that so?
Yes, sir.
And, correct me if I'm wrong, your tutor was Mr. Orban?
Yes, sir, he was.
Ah, yes. You know, Orban served with I and your father back when we were all in the local militia.
I didn't know that. I haven't been told many stories about that time.
Really? Considering everything your father went through, I would have assumed he'd never stop talking about it.
Kind of just looks. Doesn't talk much.
Ah. Well, that's quite alright. Do you go and hand him the sword?
Oh, I kneel and
Oh, no. We don't do that here. Stand up. Stand up. Come on.
He stands.
Okay. After you hand him the sword, Tarball passes the sword over to his servant, and then turns back to you, and reaches his hand out to shake yours as a show of gratitude. A few moments of shaking hands and awkward silence is suddenly broken by the sound of a bell from the central tower ringing and people screaming in horror, followed by a piercing screech and a blinding flash that shatters the windows. Both you and Governor Tarball rush outside to see some of the surrounding houses have had their doors kicked in and have been set ablaze. People run through the streets being chased by men in hooded cloaks and small lizard-like creatures. Tarball then draws the sword you had just gifted him and lunges out at the group of attackers. What do you do?
Do I have my warhammer on me?
For this, we'll say yes. We'll say you never go anywhere without your warhammer. Just like your hat, Captain Jack.
Hey, whatever works with me, man.
Right. So, to just reinforce what you've seen. Houses of the town you've grown up in, set on fire. People that you know, your neighbors, your friends. That girl you had a crush on back in 3rd grade. Being chased by lizards and guys in cloaks.
You son of a bitch, not Sally.
Yes! Sally! And you see the governor, the leader of your fine small town, pulls out the sword that you've just made and goes out to start attacking, trying to save his people, his town. What do you do? Ooh, kick the microphone. That doesn't sound good.
Gonna run home to my mother.
You're gonna run home to your mother.
I'm not crying. I'm trying to save her for anyone who wanted to know.
Okay. Well, before you can do that, Tarball reaches out to you and grabs you by your shirt. He says, "Aaron, we need help."
Well, of course.
Oh, of course. All right. Roll initiative.
Oh. Awkward.
Hey, I never said I was good at this.
I have a neg to my initiative.
Oh, you have a neg to your initiative?
Yeah. I rolled crap when I wrote this character.
No. Alright. So, what you see... Find me a figure for Tarball real quick. There you go, that works.
That was easy.
Shut the fuck up. Okay. So we'll say that the governor's manor is right here, right?
Okay.
You both come out the front door. And as you see the side of your town being laid to waste by unknown creatures, you see 2 of the hooded figures. You see 2 of these hooded figures.
Oh, dude.
And those are actual cultists.
You know, I was gonna say these guys look strikingly like Nazgul, and if that's the case, he's on his own.
Nah, they don't look like Nazgul. From the little bit that you can see by what's not being covered up by their hood, they look just like normal guys.
I've seen enough Game of Thrones to know where this is going.
Okay. And flanked by the 2 hooded figures are 3 of these small lizard-like creatures.
Dude, there's 2 of us.
I got this. You're fine.
You're just rolling a new character.
Here's to a new campaign, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So.
15.
15? Okay. What I'm going to do is, I've got a character sheet here for Tarball for these types of encounters.
Okay.
Ooh, Tarball rolled an 8. That makes his initiative 10. Now's the boring part where I have to enter in all the initiative and stuff, because you think I'd be smart enough to do this ahead of time.
You're okay.
Yeah. Okay. We'll say Aaron. That's fine. Tarball.
Rest in peace, headphone users. No, Gus, you can't have any.
And we'll switch this up to enemies. Cultists. We'll say that's Cultist 1. And then we'll have Cultist 2. Now, I don't know if you would ever have seen these small lizard-like, but you might have heard stories about them before.
We're talking about Aaron, not Will, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We're talking about Aaron. Why don't you go ahead and give me just a natural intelligence check?
You don't want my modifier?
Well, yeah, add your intelligence modifier.
Oof. 9.
9?
9.
Yeah, you really don't know. You've heard tales of different kinds of lizard creatures, but nothing's really seeming to click.
Grayscales.
Oi. What did I say? Tarball got a 8.
Yeah.
Okay. And what'd you get?
15.
15. Huh. Not too far off from what it randomly generated you. Okay. And now I have to pull up the damn things. You think after doing this for over a year, I'd know what I'm doing? You would be wrong. Lizard person, which you rolled.
So tired of lazy people.
Right. And open this up for the cultist as well. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. In case you forgot that this was anything like Critical Role, you're fucking
You are
wrong.
fucking wrong, my
We are a
friends.
bunch of dipshits who don't really know what we're doing, but honestly, we're just a group of friends that come together to roll dice and tell stories. And that's all that matters, really. And not any of the part that makes it fun whatsoever. You came here for fun, you came to the wrong fucking place. Okay. So, one of the lizard people lunges out and decides to go and begin to attack Governor Tarball. So, he is going to, let's see, what's he do? He's going to pull out a small dagger from the leather loincloth-like clothing that he's wearing. He pulls out a small jagged, beat-up dagger, and he begins to lunge out at the governor.
Okay.
And that... Yeah, that misses. Governor Tarball, seeing this small lizard begin to run towards him, is able to quickly use the sword that you gave him and parry the attack out of the way. Will, it is your turn.
It is my turn.
It is your turn, my
I'm gonna
dude.
swing my warhammer at that little bastard.
All right. Roll to hit.
Am I close enough? Do you want me to move up or?
Yeah, you'll have to move just a little bit.
Okay. 16.
16 hits him.
Okay. That's a 4.
That's a 4.
I think I get another attack though.
Huh. Double check.
I don't play clerics very often. Fuck off.
It's okay. Hey, and these people are loving and caring people. Don't you laugh at that.
I'm not laughing at them.
Oh, you're laughing at me?
I'm laughing at myself.
Ah. This is a cool thing. I'm using the initiative tracker app that Eric,
the one that Eric
uses. Yeah. And I'm having to get used to it because I've never used it before.
Mm-hmm.
And I've just now realized that I can keep track of the enemy's health in the app, which makes this super, super useful. What did I say the cultist was? Ah, okay. Okay. There we go. How much damage did you do to the first one?
4.
Ah, that's right. Okay. By the way, as soon as you hit this kobold, you notice it's not looking good at that point. It immediately starts bleeding from the top of the head as you swing your massive warhammer and clobber it.
I get another attack, by the way. It's,
you get another attack?
Yeah, from first level, your god delivers bolts of inspiration, blah, blah, blah. When you use the attack action, you can make one weapon attack as a bonus action.
Alright, well go ahead and make that second attack, dude.
I can't math.
What'd you roll?
That's 13.
13?
Yes.
13 just hits.
Oh, cool.
Alright, go ahead and roll me some damage.
5.
5? Well, 5 on any other enemy might not be good enough, but for these little lizard dudes, that's just enough. As you raise up your massive warhammer, coming down for a second swing, protecting your governor, you're the leader of your town, you just pancake this fucking poor little lizard.
Like a watermelon!
This is when you find out they're actually your neighbors, and it was the kids trick-or-treating.
Oh, wow!
But, that being said, the trick-or-treating lizard kid is dead.
Wow, hallucinogens, ladies and gentlemen. It's in the air.
Yeah, alright. So you're dead. You're dead, little lizard guy, so I can actually just take you out and you're gone. How do I remove you?
I don't think you can. Just name them 1, 2, and 3. Because Eric usually says, oh, well, this guy's turn, but, he's dead.
Alright. It is now the cultist's turn.
Oh, the Nazgul.
Not the Nazgul. You're not that lucky. Right. So, this cultist is actually going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Perfect. He's going to make it right up to you. And he's going to reach into his deep flowing robes and he pulls out a scimitar. And he begins to hack and slash at you. That is a 7 to hit. Miss.
We did agree I do have plate armor on before this all started.
Yes, we did.
Okay.
I just have to double check everything because I'm stupid.
I understand. I'm just double checking with you.
Okay. And that's actually going to be his turn. Now, it is the governor's turn. The governor, seeing you being attacked, decides he's going to run around behind this cultist. And he's going to use the sword that you just gave him, a finely crafted weapon. And he's going to try to make an attack on the cultist. So let's see. That's his AC. Ah, perfect. And that's going to be...
Did he hit?
Oh, he hit.
Oh, okay.
And fucking max damage.
Oh, okay. You gave him a donut hole. Wait, isn't that technically sneak attack? Since he's...
It's not sneak attack.
But he's...
Sneak attack, that would have just given him advantage on the roll. Sneak attack is if they don't know you're quite there.
So then what is it when they're fucking around with someone else and someone flanks them from behind?
It's just flanking.
So you just get advantage on it?
Yes, you just get advantage on it.
I'm sorry because Eric's mother is playing and she's playing a rogue, but she's playing an
arcane,
oh
yeah.
She's playing an arcane trickster.
Oh.
And I looked dead at Eric when she said, I'm gonna cast magic missile instead of going behind the dude, and I was like, can I metagame, please?
Yeah. Okay. So funny. Tarball immediately runs through this cultist, slicing through him as if there is no resistance. You're a little bit proud at how cleanly this sword just went in to the gut of this person.
It's my sword, guys.
Oh, it's my sword.
It's my seed! Leave it alone!
Seeing that, this kobold is going to use its sling. It has a little piece of material, leather fabric. You're not quite sure from the distance, and things are happening so fast you're not quite able to make out what's happening here.
Okay.
But you notice it's a sling method. So he is going to attempt to attack the governor. That's not gonna do it. So he slings the rock that's mounted inside the sling. I don't know where it's good. And the rock just veers off before making any contact.
No purchase is made.
And the other kobold is going to do the same, except he's going to make an attack on you.
Please tell me rolled a 1. Is that a 1? This sling breaks! Bummer!
The, same thing, using the sling, he lashes out with it, sending whatever form of projectile he's choosing to use, flying. And in the split second that you're able to see it coming towards you, a gust of wind blows.
You rolled a 1.
And hits the cultist. Let's see how much damage.
In that split time, could I see what the hell he is throwing at me?
Make a perception check. What did I say? It's only
18.
18. It's a rock.
Just a little rock? No.
I wouldn't say a little rock. I'd say about a baseball-sized rock. Dude, they're here to hurt.
I was about to say, are they like... What? Are they like Hercules slinging around a rock like that?
Dude, you could sling a rock like that. It ain't that hard.
I mean, with a sling. We're talking about momentum. We're talking about...
Yeah, it's easier to do that way. And... what's the modifier to that? Okay.
Oh my god, does he kill the cultist?
Yes. yes, he does. As the rock goes flying, the gust of wind takes the rock and... because physics be damned, wind can blow rock.
Hey, man. Golf, grape size,
It's Dungeons and Dragons. Fuck off. The rock slams up against the cultist's head, and the cultist was facing you, so you get a good look at his face as his eyes begin to roll back, blood begins to trickle, and he just crumples at your feet.
Yeah, folded my dudes.
So that's a big fan. Fucking Neil! Seeing that, the second cultist, angered at what had just happened, backhands the kobold beside him and begins to rush up to attack the governor, being the closest enemy. With his scimitar, that might actually do it. No, it does not. The governor, sensing the impending danger coming, seeing the cultist fall to his feet, lashes the sword out behind him, able to block the scimitar attack coming from the cultist. It is now your turn. Because how the fuck do I make these dead people go away?
That's a 13.
A 13 to hit who?
The cultist.
The cultist? I believe that hits. Yes, 13 just hits.
I'll take it. With max damage.
With max damage.
That's 10 points of damage for the first attack.
Ooh. Alright. Second attack.
That's a 12.
A 12 to hit?
Yes.
12's what you need.
Oh, it is?
That's his AC.
Word. That's a 7. So
7.
17 points of damage altogether.
Okay. How do you want to do this?
The cultist? Really?
The cultist. How do you want to fuck him up?
Dope. How would I want to kill someone with a warhammer? Let's just bring it down on his head.
A lot of squishing. Very Gallagher-esque. You just bring it down. He looks up. His eyes just kind of bug out a little bit. Boom! As you bring it down, smatterings of his skull and brain matter just go flying everywhere. The second cultist is now dead.
And headless.
And headless. The two kobolds seeing this. They are going to attempt to run away.
As a reaction, can I pick up a stone and throw it at one of them?
I'll give you that.
Oh, word. What do you want me to roll for it?
Roll a d20 and add your strength modifier.
9.
9.
Yeah.
9's not going to do it.
I figured.
The kobolds. You knew they were kobolds. Well, Aaron doesn't. You know.
I got you.
Anyway, the first kobolds begin to run away.
Oh, we're still in action phase.
Oh, yeah. Second one decides to do the same. He's going to go and join his friend. Okay. It's your turn. Or no, sorry, it's not your turn. I have a thing that tells me whose turn it is, and guess what? It is, Oh, I completely skipped fucking Tarball.
Oh.
Your governor, Night Hill. The guy with the funny voice. That being said, you see Tarball reach behind his back. You haven't paid much attention to it, but you notice there's a crossbow on his back. He pulls out the crossbow. He takes aim at one of these lizard bastards and fires. The arrow goes awry, just skidding off to the side. And it is going to be your turn again.
I'm going to pull out my light crossbow.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what a damage modifier or what it is to hit with that.
It'll be... What's your strength modifier? Well, actually, not strength, dexterity. Sorry.
Neg 2.
Neg 2. Okay, it'll be a +5 to hit.
Okay.
So you rolled a hit. Add 5.
7.
7.
Yes.
7 to hit.
It misses, doesn't it? Okay, we're going to roll again.
Not yet. You get 2 attacks.
That's better. That's a 14.
14 hits. Which one are you aiming at?
The
Left or right?
closest one. This
Okay. 1d8 plus 2.
6.
6 points. The arrow flies and pierces through center mass of this lizard as it falls face first to the ground. Momentum still carrying it as its body tumbles a few feet forward. Okay. It is going to be the kobold's turn. He's going to turn, and that being said, There are woods. We'll assume they're off this board at this point.
Okay.
But your town is surrounded by woods. So the kobold is actually going to turn, seeing that arrows are flying in this general direction, and try to serpentine off in this direction. And it is going to be Tarball's turn. He's going to reload his crossbow and take another shot. That's not going to do it.
Yes, it does.
The arrow
I
misses.
promise you it does.
How so?
I have a spell, my friend.
A spell or an ability? Because you're not
Probably
the only
an
person.
ability.
You're not the only person at this table who plays a cleric. Are you talking about the thing that allows you to add 10 to someone's roll?
Yes. Channel Divinity, Guided Strike. Starting at level 2, you can use your Channel Divinity to strike with supernatural accuracy. When you make an attack roll, you can use your Channel Divinity to gain a plus 10 bonus roll to your roll.
Wow.
Or actually, no. That's I was talking about Ward God's Blessing.
Yes.
When a creature is within 30 feet, sorry. That means I have to use a reaction.
I'll give you this as a reaction.
Okay.
Yeah.
You make the choice after you see the roll, but before the DM says whether the attack hits or misses. So would you still allow that?
I'll allow it.
Okay.
Yeah, because you were like, no, it hits. I didn't really give you a chance to butt in there.
Do you want me to roll a d10 and just add that to whatever he wants? Or
No. It's just straight. It's just flat 10.
Whatever, man. You go ahead.
So, my phone somehow just locked itself. Stop doing that.
Electronics.
That'll make it hit. That'll absolutely make it hit. And mark down that you used one Channel Divinity. I think you get... How many do you get? I think you've either got 2 or 3. But that being said, we're going to go ahead and roll up the damage on this. Ooh. Okay. The arrow flying pierces the back of the leg of this kobold.
He rolled like shit with damage.
Yes, he did. For technical reasons, he rolled a 1 on his damage. But, even though little damage being done to this lizard, it helped.
Uh-huh.
It dropped the lizard, not necessarily prone, but down to its knees.
I get 2 with every rest. So
2 with every rest.
Yeah, so I have 1 left.
Okay. Well, this kobold is now crippled. It's not... You notice it's still making its getaway, but it's not able to make
Not
it...
moving so fast.
It's not moving as fast as it was before. And that being said, him barely getting up and being able to move, it is now your turn.
Okay, I'm going to fire my crossbow at it.
Okay. Crossbow away. Is that a nat 20?
That is a nat 20.
Okay. So, for anybody at home, we're doing a new critical method. I'm taking Eric's method. Our friend Eric,
Oh,
who...
you're not doing Charles's where we roll on the table?
No.
Charles is a fucking...
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't have that. I thought about using that for the nat 1s, and I very well might include that in this.
That's fine. I was just wondering.
No. So we're just going to use
Eric's...
Eric's natural 20 method, which is... The normal rule is you roll your dice and you double the damage and then you add your modifiers and everything. Our friend Eric, who plays Theron and played John Cena in the last campaign... let me sit down because I know the camera can't fucking see me.
He also has a decade of experience.
Woo! Yeah, he does. Thank God for Eric sometimes.
Yes.
That being said, he has this method to where usually you'll double your dice, right? That's the usual normal method. Well, the way Eric does it is you'll double your dice, but you automatically get the max number of damage for 1 dice. So you're using a crossbow that's an automatic 8 damage plus another D8, then plus the modifier.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll that up.
I can't math.
What is it?
6.
6?
Would that be plus 2, though? So that's technically 8. That's 16 points
That's
of damage.
16 points of damage. The arrow flying, perfectly aimed, missile-like. Straight as an arrow, although we all know arrows aren't fucking straight when they fly, because we've all seen the slow-mo, like a noodle. I forgot what I was saying.
Nat 20, Kobold is
Yes.
now dying.
Goes right through the head. side of the head, in one temple, out the other. The kobold just stops. As soon as the arrow touches him, he stops mid-track. Falls back into the dirt, dust flying up around him. You're out of initiative now. What do you want to do?
I'm going to go over to the cultist behind me.
Okay.
I'm going to loot his body.
Okay. Roll me an investigation.
12.
12?
Yes.
12. Okay. Let's see what you find on our dear little cultist friend. Well, you find... You pull back the hood. He's wearing dark black and gray robes. Simple, plain, tattered a bit. He's wearing a mask. You pull back the mask. You don't seem to recognize who it is. Not that you ever would, I believe.
So it's human?
It is human, yes.
Okay.
The cultist is human. The only thing of real importance that you find on him is his scimitar. And... And 5 gold pieces.
I take his robes and his mask anyway.
Okay. You stuff those down into your bag. Which, I'll say this for now, I don't think... Oh, no. Never mind. I'm thinking of the wrong game. Somebody in our other game, I think it was Guilford, got a bag of holding. And for some reason, I thought you in this game had a bag of holding.
Not yet, but I will be getting one.
At some point.
Some point, yes.
Some point.
If I don't die.
If. When. When. Okay. Tarball places his hand on your shoulder. He says, Aaron, we've got work to do. And I just can't nail his accent for some reason. It's just going to flop. You'll learn I am horrible with accents. There's only a handful of my favorite NPCs whose accents stayed the same. So,
did I find any marching orders on him? Anything at all? Or did I not?
No. You went through all the pockets and everything. You believe you found everything that there is to find on this cultist, unless you feel like disemboweling him to see if maybe he swallowed it, which you doubt that. But
do
I don't know. Do you feel like in the middle of your town being set ablaze,
I don't.
disemboweling this dead cultist?
No, I don't.
Okay. A few moments after the fight, Tarball yells out, "Watch out," and tackles you to the ground. As you look up, you see as a dragon swoops down, too fast for you to make out any real detail, but you recognize that shape all too well.
Do I recognize the color? Or
It's moving too fast. It's at a blur. And you know how you can
pushed
throw
around.
something red, right? And it'll look black as it passes by.
Gotcha.
It's just moving it too fast. Raining down fire onto a few more houses. The dragon, letting out that screech that you heard from before, that ear-piercing screech, followed by heat radiating from all around you. And you see as just a few more houses are laid to waste. Tarball then grabs you and begins to lead you in the direction of your house. You need to see if any of your family has survived this onslaught.
I agree.
As you make your way closer to your house, you see that it is yet to be touched by the chaos enveloping the city. As you rush in, you are met by your mother.
Amy!
What?
We need you to do a female voice.
No.
No.
Never mind.
I want to know if I want to make it offensive or not.
Oh,
Hold on. Wait. We'll let the dice decide. Yep, offensive.
oh, here we go.
Your mother's a drunkard. No. I wouldn't do that. Aaron, thank the 9 you're alive. Have you seen your father? He went out to try to help with whatever is happening to the city, but he left his sword. She then hands you your father's sword. That's my wife, ladies and gentlemen. Please find your father and make sure he's safe. Tarball, once again getting your attention. Aaron, we have to go. More raiders are coming this way. You turn and you look out. As you exit your home, you see the shadow of the dragon making another pass over the city, off in the distance, breathing fire in a destructive pass. Your eyes pan down to see another group of lizard folks and hooded figures coming towards you. Do you notice? They've got something else with them. It's not the normal band of these villains who are laying waste to your town. So we have, again, and we'll just start over from square one. These guys are coming out. And we'll have...
Is there any drapes, curtains, any cloth-like substance around? Like curtains?
I would say there's curtains inside your house, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna rip like a little strip off.
Okay. Aaron, what are you doing to my curtains?
I'm gonna like...
That was my original idea for the voice, by the way. Aaron!
I'm gonna headband my hair so it's out of my face.
Ah. All right, then. Whoop. As you see the normal cavalcade of the enemies that you've seen running through your town, terrorizing the people and the ones that you have been following, you notice that there is a few more of them this time, but they are also flanked by... Ooh, hello. I don't need you. Tiny little... Look at the tiny little dinosaur. He's so tiny. But he is not in this. By the way, we have a second cultist. You notice 3 cultists, 3 of the lizard folks, and 2 of the lizards are holding these large metallic chains that are attached to what seem to be what only can be described as a lizard-like dog. It's in the shape and everything of a dog, but it's very lizard-like.
Is that how big it is?
It's about comparable. I would say these things are a little bit smaller than that, especially this one, because, you don't know, it might be a young one. Fuck you. Why are you asking questions?
Because I want to roll to see if I know what it is.
Okay, go ahead and roll. Make me a, once again, another general intelligence check.
12.
12? Once again, not really. You've never really made it outside of Greenest into the world that is beyond. The furthest you've ever been would probably be Phandalin, which is not that far over. But growing up as a young boy, you've had dreams of traveling the world, going to see the big city of Waterdeep and other places here on the Sword Coast. References, bitches. Okay. So, is there anything you want to do before we roll initiative?
Can I roll to see if I can pick up any of my crossbow bolts that I fired?
That was in the other side of town, but I'll go ahead and I'll let you do that. Just give me just D20.
11.
11? How many did you fire? Were you keeping track?
Yes, I am. I just can't do math.
How do you...
4.
You fired 4?
Yes.
You're able to get 3 back. I'm going to vomit in the middle of this video.
That's absolutely disgusting.
I know. And it probably doesn't sound good considering I have a mic literally right here underneath me. I cannot apologize enough. I could... Oh, I just now realized what Tarball rolled for initiative. That's actually really good.
Oh, shit. We're going to have to get that dex modifier up.
Yeah, you are. How? How do I just get rid of bad guys? Ah! I'm sorry, people. I don't know what I'm doing. Exit. Here we go. Okay, reset. Okay. Tarball. Aaron, what did you roll?
An 8.
An 8?
Yes.
Mmm.
That's why I said we can get the dex modifier up.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. Okay. Okay, and now we have the cultists. Uno. Dos. And Trace cultist. And now our little kobold friends. Kobold 1. Kobold 2. Kobold 3. And Kobold 5 through 27.
Fuck.
Okay, and we will add the big lizard dog thingy. Just give me 1 second. I still don't know what I'm doing here.
We haven't been playing for a year, I promise.
Yeah. I'm using an app I've never used before. Leave me alone.
I am leaving you alone.
And also, I'm very bad at prep. I'm very good at doing the story and everything. Everything else I suck at.
Just improv, my dude.
Okay. Now, we can... I say that. I have to enter in the health. So, how have you been, Will?
I just got off work.
Ah.
Don't you have to go to work today, too?
Yes. But I don't have to leave. The plan is we'll, if it goes the full length, I'll call it at, I'll call it at 1. So that leaves me time to get ready.
And me too.
Yeah. There you go.
So is this, do we have a set schedule for this campaign?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm hoping to get one soon. Like, I just really need to figure out, I was about to say, Will, Eric and Charles. Like, essentially, if we can do it on Thursdays, because it would be best to do it on Thursdays.
The only person you really have to worry about on Thursdays is Eric, because Eric is full 40 hours, and Charles is off days for Thursday and Friday.
Right.
I am 32 hours, but for this week and the next 2 weeks, I am 40 hours, which is why I hate my life.
Right. Okay. Well.
Yes, I'm complaining about work. Back off.
That being said, I think we're going to go ahead and take a break.
Okay.
And we're back. So, when we left off, but this is just a fraction to them. Cultist lizards and one lizard-like dog that you're not quite sure what it is because you rolled like shit. We've got our initiatives and everything out of the way.
Listen, man, I got a -1 to my intelligence, so...
It's okay. Hey, here's to the first episode of the new campaign.
You were correct, my dude.
Drink up, bitches. Alright. Tarball Nighthill. Still using the sword that you gave him. Because he loves this sword. It's an awesome sword. You did a great job on this sword. Let me blow more smoke up your ass just before I kill you.
Hey.
I actually do a little bit of rearranging here because there's some notes here I need to keep track of. Okay. Tarball. Seeing that the... Actually, it's okay. It's probably not even picking it up that much. A little bit, but it's fine. It's not.
This is my breakfast. Dinner, whatever you want to call it. I'm third shift, okay? Leave me alone.
30. Not quite enough to make it up there. And so it is actually going to be the cultist, or not cultist, it's going to be the kobold's turn. And we're going to say, we'll go this way because I want him to attack Tarball. So this little guy is going to come up and attack Tarball. Let's see, he's just going to use that little shitty dagger that, for some reason, all fucking kobolds have. Ooh. That's actually going to hit. Okay. And so the damage is going to be not a whole hell of a lot, because it's only just a little bit of a dagger. Where is my fucking... Fine, we'll use the metal one. I don't like using my cleric dice to do bad things. Okay. Okay. The first kobold here lunges out with a dagger and catches Tarball in his side. Almost at a glancing blow. He's able to deflect it a little bit, but not before he's able to make contact with him. The second kobold, this one, is actually going to use his sling. You know what, Will?
Yes.
I've been messing up this whole time.
Why?
And ladies and gentlemen, I want to apologize because we have a new feature. And I've meant to use this for the actual encounters. Look, you can actually see the enemies. So this little gray guy, over. This gray guy is Tarball. This guy right here, that's Will's character. And then the rest of those assholes are bad guys. Okay?
Except him.
Cool. Except who? I pointed out Tarball and said he's...
I'm writing things down.
Pay attention, damn it! Well, I actually like it when you write things down, take notes, things like that. Because I'm a giant nerd like that. And I do. You've seen me at Eric's games. Like, I am heavy on note-taking. Okay, however, this guy, he's going to use his sling attempt to hit you with it, Will.
Sling?
Sling!
This dude? Or this dude?
This guy.
Okay.
1 second, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to cut right here. Hello? Hi? No. It's only 10 o'clock. Okay. Anyway. Okay. Okay. Alright. Bye. I'm not doing the yarn. Fuck off. What was I doing? Ah, and we're back. Sorry about that. Had to take a phone call. So, Kobold's using a sling, and he's going to sling, you would assume, a rock, just like the other ones. Sling one at you. So, he's going to...
That one.
No, not on that one.
Has a nat 20.
Not on that 20 either. That's 18 to hit.
That is my armor class.
That hits then. Alright, so, but luckily, it's just a rock, so we're going to... okay. He deals you 4 points of damage as the rock comes flying, and... I mean, you're wearing armor, right? So, needless to say, I think it might bounce off your head. So you get a little smark right here. Just a little bit of blood. Not a lot. But just enough to piss you off. And you rolled so poorly.
Bummer.
Okay. So, this cultist is actually going to run up to Tarball and begin to attack him. He's going to use his scimitar. That misses. Okay. I should probably actually be doing this, because this actually keeps track of whose turn it was. Okay, so it was... Right? Yes. So now, it is this kobold's turn. He's essentially going to do the same thing. He's going to use a sling and attempt to hit you.
Fuck off.
That is a 19.
Well, you know the answer to this.
Yep, 19 hits you. And it's going to do
I
a
might
massive 5 points of damage.
I really might die.
You're not going to die, I promise you. Okay. It is now your turn.
Okay.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
I'm going to shoot a crossbow bolt at the dude who just hit me for 5 damage.
Which one? Both of the bastards near the big lizard hit you?
I'm going to shoot one at that dude, and I'm going to shoot one at that dude.
Fair enough.
That is a not natural 20.
Not natural 20 fucking hits. Okay, which one?
That one.
That one? Okay.
With 4 points of damage.
Alright, give me 1 second.
And the other one's a 17.
Both of those hit. That's the second kobold. Okay. So you did 4 points to the first one?
Yes.
Okay. So that knocks him down to that. And the next kobold, how much damage did you do to him?
10.
10?
Yes.
The arrow flies and just pierces straight through his forehead, going straight through, and he just falls. He's dead. Math. Oh, there's a thing here for duplicate creature. I'm a fucking retard.
Hey, you're using a new app. You get it.
I don't know. It's okay. I wish I knew how to delete these guys. Because that'd make me very happy.
Would it?
Yeah, it would. Because he has no health, but I can't, like, get rid of his damn... I just want to say he's dead. Ah, to hell with it. I'll see his hit points and know he's dead. Okay. It is the cultist's turn. And this is the best part about using the overhead camera during encounters. I can stand up, and nobody can not just see me.
He likes to stand a lot.
It's a natural DM thing, especially when you have the DM screen and you want to look over.
Even when he's playing. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Even when I play, I stand. I get fidgety. Okay, the other cultist. I don't think he's going to be able to make it to you. So 5. Yeah. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. No, okay, he's not going to be able to make it to you, but he's making his way towards you. Now comes the fun part. Because I don't know what this thing can do. But it is the ambush Drake's turn.
It's a dragon, though, correct?
It is not a dragon.
Drake.
Drake.
So it's got scales.
It does have scales. Like I said, it's like a big lizard dog.
And hide.
And hide, yes.
If you do not allow me to do what I want to do, I will smite thee.
Smite thee. Which is not. Okay. So not that bad.
Oh, fucking okay.
Actually, we're gonna change that. He's actually gonna go right up and he's going to attempt to bite Tarball, which he gets advantage.
Whoa.
Wow, what the fuck were those rolls? Fucking. Yeah, no. You good?
Yes.
Okay. Both bites miss. Tarball able to. From what you can see, this you kind of understand why at one point this guy not only served in the local militia with your father, was probably very high ranking, as he's able to fend off all these attacks at once, with an attack even coming from behind, him able to throw a back kick to keep the ambush Drake at bay.
I was going to say, do you roll a natural 1, too?
He had advantage on 2 rolls. 4 and a 1. Mm-hmm. And it is now this cultist's turn. He is actually going to. Right there. Okay. Next round, it is Tarball's turn once again. Tarball, being flaked on almost all sides, just has too many options. And he is going to, sensing the danger from around, he's actually going to turn around and focus his attention on the ambush drake, knowing that it might be the worst opponent in this fray. Okay. As Tarball goes to attack, swinging the sword, the ambush drake lifts up one of his massive scaled paws and slaps the sword out of his hand, sending it we'll say the sword was sent right there.
Is my man using his hands now?
Your man has been disarmed. Whether he's going to choose to use his hands afterwards, it's a different story. However, it is that Kobold's turn, so he is going to make...
Wait. Did he roll a natural 1?
He did. I'm not going to allow it for this one. It was still a natural 1.
I got you.
Even adding the 10, it's still a 1. That's still a failure. Okay, and just for shits and giggles because he's flanked. Oh, that's so much worse. But it's not a 20, so it's okay. So he is going to do fuck all for damage. Okay, so that's 10 more of those, and maybe Tarball would actually be dead. Second kobold, he is actually going to get up in the fray. You're starting to get the sense that they might think Tarball might be the most dangerous in this situation. You're a little insulted.
It's not like I killed one of them.
However, same thing. That misses. No? Yes, that misses. And it is now the cultist's turn, which I think he said was you, so we're going to do the same thing. Okay. The cultist swinging Tarball with his fucking Matrix-like skills is able to duck quickly, hearing the scimitar slicing through the air over him, ducks as the cultist accidentally hits the drake. That happened. He rolled a 1, my dude.
Was that your stomach?
It was not mine. It had to have been the dog.
Say, dog, I'm hungry too, but damn it.
Okay. And that is... Cool, thanks. Okay. It is now... Well, it would be that kobold's turn, but it's dead, so... Aaron, my dude, it is your turn.
10. 14 to hit.
14 to hit?
Yeah.
And you're attacking this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay.
Which one did I say he was? We'll just say he's this one.
7 points of damage, and I'm going to take out my... Would that be an action?
What?
To take out my light crossbow and shoot at this dude?
I'll say it's a bonus action, because essentially the way I think of it...
Even to pull the trigger, too? Or just
No.
Pull it out?
Bonus action to pull it out, and then action to fire.
So I'd have to wait my next turn in order to fire?
No, you got 2 attacks, don't you?
To use as a bonus action.
Oh. Yeah.
That was 15, 20, 25, 30.
You're going to take an attack of opportunity.
Never mind, I will not do that. Fucking forget this engagement.
Yeah. Well,
you know what? Let's just swing at that dude again.
Yeah, that hits.
It's not a natural 20.
Yeah, that hits. Roll some damage. Well, yeah.
I'm
So
going
you
to
just-
crush his rib cage.
Oh, that's right. You're not using your father's sword either.
Not
You're
yet.
still using. Yeah. Okay. So
I'm a blacksmith. I have
just
a
for
giant hammer.
I know. Just for story reasons, you took the sword given to you by your mother, your father's famous sword that he's had hanging on his mantle.
By the way, you never give me the stats for that, so it's not like I could actually use it.
I can very quickly give you the stats for that. Don't worry. It's essentially just a regular long sword, which is a D8 plus 3 slashing. But it's got... Well, we'll get to that. Okay. So, this guy's just fucking dead. You fucking smash him to bits. One into the rib cage and then one dead onto the back. Not only breaking all of his ribs, also breaking his spine, and he just lays there convulsing.
Get folded.
Get folded. Okay. Now, if you would like to use your movement, you can.
I can't because I wouldn't be able to do anything. It'd just be movement.
Right. I'm just saying, if you wanted to, you still have movement you can use if you wanted to.
5. No, it's 15. 20, 25, 30.
Okay. So essentially back to the start.
20, 25, 30.
Okay.
You know what? No.
No?
I'm going to stay right there.
Okay. That cultist is now dead. It is now the Drake's turn. The Drake is going to attempt to take a bite out of the governor. That misses. Tarball still able. Notices the Drake coming, and he's able to bring up his knee just in time to
Like a
close
dog.
it. Yeah, close his mouth just a little.
Like a dog.
Yeah. Ta-da!
We hear the teeth, though.
Yeah. Foley work here on Let's Roll. Okay, it is now this cultist's turn. He is actually going to... Oh boy, what's he gonna do? Yeah, he's just gonna meet you dead on. That misses, I know. He swings his scimitar at you, and you're able just to bring up that massive blacksmithing hammer that you've been using all day. Just boom! Smack it away.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Okay. Next round, it is now Tarball's turn. Tarball is still going to focus on the Drake. Perfect. That hits. And he's using the long sword that you gifted him. So, 4 plus 3.
Hey.
You're good. It already hit.
No.
Whoa.
The sword is right there.
Dude, thank you. You are a wonderful person. That is correct. Well, he still hits, but he's going to use his hands instead. He used his knee to block the attack from before, but now he's just going to...
He's a monk plus 1d8.
He's just going to straight up just... Bah! And not do a whole hell of a lot for that. What's his strength?
Hey, it's a good thing I'm an honest person, okay?
Yes, you are correct. Okay. He surprisingly...
Dude, did he just take off
No.
the head of a kobold with
No.
his fist?
No. And it's an ambush drink, not the kobold.
Oh, never mind.
If it was the kobold, he probably would have took the fucking head off with that punch. But and the Drake stumbles a bit, having to catch himself and shake himself. And in that moment, Tarball is going to make a dash for his sword. Unfortunately, gaining 1, 2, 3 fucking attacks of opportunity. But he's going to go ahead and step away. So I'm going to just use all of these. Miss, and miss. Perfect. Tarball runs, dives for his sword, gets it, and stands back up, ridding himself for the next onslaught. It is now this kobold's turn. He is going to actually rush forward and attempt to attack Tarball with the dagger, which misses. Lunging out, Tarball, regaining his sword, is able to parry away the strike coming from the kobold's dagger. It is now the other kobold's turn. This kobold, however, is going to step back, pull out his sling, and attempt to strike out. That one also misses. Damn. Okay. Cultist's turn. Cultist is going to rush up to him. He does no longer have advantage. That hits. Slashing out with his scimitar. Ooh. Damn. Okay. Makes doing the math on that easy. Slashing out the scimitar, burying it in Tarball's left shoulder. Even though I'm grabbing my right, shut up. Burying it into his left shoulder, dropping it. Luckily, Tarball is right-handed, but his arm just drops down to his side. You get the feeling that he may have just currently lost function in his arm. That kobold's dead. It is now your turn.
I want to do something, but I'll get an attack of opportunity from that douchebag. Okay. I'm just gonna swing and just try to like blind him, stun him, so that disengage doesn't hurt me.
All right, so you're going to attempt to stun him.
Not natural 20.
Unnatural 20.
I wouldn't say stun, more of just like, damn, dude, I don't know where you're going right now because I'm really hurt. So I don't get that attack.
I'll give you this. Instead of a stunning, I say we'll use that, and we'll make it a push. Like, you bring up your hammer, you grab the head, and you just sort of bash him and shove him back. Just enough to take
away. Do you want to roll a little bit of damage, too?
Yeah,
roll me... It's more of a push than an attack.
Roll me a D4.
Okay.
And add your strength to it. Ah, dude.
Plus my strength, which is +2, so it's a 3.
3 damage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did my dude just have a heart attack from me pushing him?
No.
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, you're not that lucky.
So then with that,
this works sideways. That's actually...
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. No. It's
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 will get you right.
I know, I don't want to go there though.
Okay.
5, 10, 15. 15. Fuck.
You don't have to use all your movement.
I know, I'm not trying to. I'm trying to calculate on how I could do this. So I was...
Okay, what are you trying to do?
I'm trying to put him in the circle so I can do Prayer of Healing.
Prayer of Healing takes 10 minutes. You and me learned that lesson the hard way, remember?
Yeah, so why don't we just do Mass Healing Word?
Is that 3rd level?
Yes.
Mass Healing Word is 3rd level.
Yes,
I think it's the same as regular Healing Word, though. You can just do it to more people. And right now it's just you and Tarball.
Then I'll just do a regular Healing Word because that's a bonus action.
Okay, that works. What's the range on it?
60 feet. So
60 feet, that works.
35. But would I heal them with it?
No.
Okay.
No. You are focusing all that magical energy towards who you want.
Okay. My mods. 5 points of healing altogether.
Hey, that's fine. You notice Tarball begin to grip his left hand, clutching it multiple times, as if he's starting to get the feeling back in it. Okay. It is now... He's dead. Okay, it is now the Drake's turn. The Drake, being very mad and coming out of his... not stunned, but he was a little dazed.
Shooken up?
Yeah, coming out of his dazed state, he's going to lunge out at good old Tarball there. So he's going to attempt to bite him. That will hit. And that is not good for Tarball. Although, you've seen Tarball get hit multiple times here. You get the feeling he's just beginning to break a sweat.
My dude.
Dude. Wow, really? That's it? Okay.
Here goes my 5 points of healing.
He only did 3 points.
Oh, never mind.
Okay. So, it is now this cultist's turn. Coming to after you essentially just kind of popping him in the face with your handle real quick. He is going to come back up to you and make an attack with his scimitar. Not natural 20. So he is going to do 6 points of damage to you as he slices across you with his scimitar, just making it in between the gaps between your plate armor. All right, next round, Tarball. Back at it again with attacking the ambush Drake, because that's all he's got. Right, that hits him. Yeah, that fucking hits. Okay. Well, I don't even need to do this. Tarball, having regained his sword, having to parry the last few attacks of him, sees the Drake coming up to him, and he's able to scoop the sword up underneath and plunge it straight through the bottom of the Drake's sword as you watt the Drake's sword. Plunging the sword through the bottom of the Drake's mouth, watching as the tip of the sword comes out the top of his head, and dropping the Drake. It is now this kobold's turn. This kobold, seeing this happen, he is actually going to attempt to step back. However, getting an attack of opportunity. Ooh, that hits. Attempting to run away, the kobold turns his back, and seeing the fleeing kobold, Governor Tarball takes his sword and slices down the back, causing this kobold as well to fall. Right? Yeah. Okay. Ah! What happened? Things are happening.
Oh no!
Okay. It is now this kobold's turn. This kobold, once again, using his sling, is going to lash out. Oh, actually that's going to do it. I cannot use my cleric dice against you. However, that is going to do it, but it's not a lot of damage because it is only a sling. Okay. Now everything you did to him is gone. Plus a little more. Right? Yeah, that's... Okay. Alright. Cultist's turn. Cultist is going to lash out with his scimitar. That misses. Once again, parry from the governor. That kobold is dead. It is your turn.
Just smack that dude again.
Smack that. All on the floor. That hits. I can just tell you from here that hits.
7 points of damage.
7 points of damage to the cultist. Okay. The cultist now looking really bloodied. Heavy breathing as you get the feeling you may have cracked a few ribs. Yeah, that hits.
That's a 3.
Once again, another Gallagher effect as you crack him one more time into the ribs and then bring it back down onto him. A repeating motion coming from you. You're starting to get the feel of this.
I haven't fought very much, kind of been secluded into this.
Right, but you get the feeling, knowing your father, knowing the people your father fought with, you almost feel like this comes natural to you. Like this was what you were meant to do.
They're softer than steel!
Yep. Okay. Are you going to want to use your movement, or are you going to stay where you're at?
30. I'll take that.
All right. He's now dead. Ambush Drake is dead. He's dead as well. Wow. You cleared through... no, that's not what I clicked on. You're clearing through my bad guys awfully quickly. Okay, it is now Tarball's turn. Tarball, which is a very fun word to try to say to not sound like you've got something in your fucking mouth, is going to turn to the cultist and make another attack on him. What did I say? His is a +6. So yeah, that fucking hits. Okay. So, roll. That'd have been nice, but that's only... Ho. Ho, ho, ho. Okay. Okay. Dead.
The cultist?
No, not the cultist. Oh. It is that kobold's turn. Still using his sling. That misses. Okay, it is this... The Tarball and the cultist are just engaging now in a duel at this point. Miss. Once again, Tarball using his great skills and parrying away all these attacks. Also dead. It is your turn.
It's my turn?
It's your turn.
Okay. I'm going to take out my crossbow and shoot at this kobold.
Before you do that,
Yes.
make me a perception check.
Why?
Just do.
Not natural 20.
Not natural 20?
Yeah.
Okay. You're out in front of your house. The house you've grown up in. The house where your parents live. The house where you've had a lot of good and some bad memories. But the bads don't always outweigh the good in this situation. But there are woods surrounding both your house and the city of Greenest. And you start to notice movement in the trees. As you do, you notice more shapes. And understand these are stand-ins, okay?
I understand.
So if I just... For anybody else, these are stand-in miniatures. You start to notice shapes begin to come out of the woodworks. More of these hooded figures. And they're just making their way closer. On all sides. Even some coming out from behind your house. And, along with it, more of these lizard creatures.
I'm not going to be able to do what I wanted to do to that dead Drake.
Probably not. But in fact, as you say that, another Drake does come in. We'll call that. That's plenty. Seeing this, Tarball calls out to you. Looks like we're outmatched, my boy.
What do we do? Do we run?
You've done a lot for me today, but I must ask one more thing of you. In a town a ways away from here, there lies a group of heroes. They may be able to help us. Your father's sword has magical properties. Use it to locate an object known as the Booming Blade. You might want to write that down.
The Booming Blade.
The Booming Blade. Which is held by one of the heroes. You will reach a town called Phandalin. Once there, ask for the knights who say poi. Don't laugh. Bring them back to my manor in hopes that they can help us save our town. Now go! I'll hold them off while you make an escape.
I guess I don't have time to say anything. I guess I kind of just run then.
I'll give you one chance because this is... Talking is usually a free action, so this can be as a passing by as you take off.
He doesn't really know what to do. This is his first time being out. This is his first time in combat. He's kind of,
Right.
He's going to throw up as soon as he gets to the other town, by the way.
Well, fair enough. But are you going to take his advice?
And run?
And run?
Yes.
Okay. You've been to Phandalin before. You've gone with your father once to get supplies. So you know in the general direction of which it is. And Tarball being able to gain all the attention is able to buy you just enough time for them not to pay attention to you and for you to slip away, going around the corner of your house, glancing in one last time as you look through the window, you see your mother in the kitchen. And you've never seen her quite like this. Your mother has always been a very timid woman. She's been very soft-spoken. She's rarely ever raised her voice at you, only when you've gotten in very big trouble. Like that time you got in a fight. But
We don't talk about that.
I know. The dark past. He killed a guy.
Maybe.
Well, he's killed several guys here now. But it was for drugs. But you glance in, and you see your mother in a state you've never seen her before. This look of seriousness and coldness that I just can't reiterate enough. You've never seen this look on your mother's face as she is wielding both a meat cleaver and a frying pan.
You go, Mom.
Yeah.
You fucking go.
You get the feeling you might not know everything there is to know about your mother and how her and your father may have met. But time to dwell on that is not now, as you continue to run through the woods and away from this fight.
By the way, I've played armor, so while I'm stepping, it's clink, 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 clink. You then run into the woods nearby with the sounds of the battle still raging on behind you, following the directions given to you by your would-be leader. You take a moment as you're running through the woods, and you remember what Tarball said about your father's sword. That it has magical properties, but you've never heard anything about this. Your father's never told you anything about this. In fact, as you said, he's rarely spoken about his past when he served for the local militia. Go ahead and make me an Arcana check. You're going to have to help me out because I have a neg modifier.
Well, we'll just see what you do.
I should have that 13, but we're going to go with
10. You focus on the sword and you pull it out of its sheath and it just looks like a regular long sword. It seems like it may be a little bit sharper than a usual longsword, maybe even sharper than the one you've just made, which is odd because a freshly made blade is always the sharpest, but this one, you can tell just by looking at it. This is unusual. But besides that, that's about all that you get. What do you do at this point? We'll say you've run through the woods for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, zigzagging, doubling back and stuff, just to make sure that you weren't followed. So you've spent a couple hours away now from this encounter. And
what's the first thing I do?
After you've
Dude,
checked
is there
the
a
sword,
pond or a lake? Like any type of oasis?
make a perception check.
Oh, fuck.
One.
No, I rolled a 3. Plus my 4, so it's a 7.
7. Not really. And you know these woods pretty well, and you'd be surprised if you were to find a body of water in these woods.
Okay, hold on. Would you say there's a water skin in the explorer's
Yes.
pouch?
Yes.
We're going to take a swig out of the water pouch.
Okay.
So big old gulp.
Okay. So, we'll say as you're checking your father's sword and trying to figure out exactly what the hell Tarball was talking about. Maybe he's gotten it wrong. Maybe he was thinking about something else.
Just ran for an hour, dude.
Yeah. No, I understand. You're sitting back against a tree after you've made sure that you're not being followed, inspecting your father's sword, resting a bit, drinking water. You're just so confused by what happened, the devastation that laid waste to your innocent little town where nothing exciting ever happens ever. I mean, the most exciting thing that happened was the time a griffin flew over, and that was about 7 years ago. That's the most exciting thing that's ever happened in your town since you've been alive.
So adrenaline wore off and everything too?
The adrenaline's starting to wear off, yeah.
I'm going to throw up that water.
Okay. Make a Constitution saving throw.
This is the one time I don't want to like actually succeed.
No, just trust me. Make a Constitution saving throw.
5.
5. You do vomit. It hurts a little.
Hey man, first time in battle,
Yeah, it's fine. It happens. But you're just not sure. And as you're sitting there resting, you start to look around. And you start to notice, wait, something's not right. The way I went, I'm certain I should be further into these woods, but you're not. You're not at the spot you think you should be, even with the doubling back and everything.
Son.
Make a survival check.
Oh, I'm good at survival. 18.
18? You're absolutely certain you are lost at this point. You're certain you might be able to find your way out, but time is critical in this. You don't know how long Tarball could hold off all those enemies that you saw start to come out of the woods, and you even lost track of all the enemies that started to come out. It just seemed like a horde was descending down upon you.
Okay. Would I need to make a Constitution saving throw to calm myself, or would you just allow that to happen?
No, I'll say you're able to just sit there and...
Do I know what direction... What was the city I was going to again?
Phandalin.
Phandalin? Do I know the general direction, like northeast, blah, 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 blah?
You're able to gauge so, or you normally would be.
Well,
but right now, the sun is at its highest point in the sky.
That's why I was going to do the good old...
Yeah. We'll say for this, you're going to have to wait a couple of hours. So essentially, you just kind of pick a direction that you're certain is not the way that you came from,
okay,
and you start to make your way further into the woods. Go ahead and make another survival check for me.
Why did you go from that nat 20 to a 2?
What's that make it, though?
6.
You start going, and with everything that's happened, your mind's just racing. You're not really able to focus. And the sun begins to get lower and lower and lower to the point to where it is now nighttime. You've been in these woods, and you know these woods. These are known as the Phandalin Woods, so you know you've got to be... Like, Phandalin's just that over, but you know these woods can be a vast expanse sometimes. And if you're not careful, you can get lost. So... I think it would be good for you to decide...
To make camp?
To make a camp. So, is that what you would like to do?
Yes.
Okay. No rolls or anything. We'll just say you're able to...
Basic survival?
Basic survival.
Okay.
You've got a decent survival. So, you're able... You know what you're doing a little bit. You've gone camping plenty of times. You and your buddies have snuck out at night to go and have a... sip of some fire water that he stole from his dad that one time. And you know what you're doing when it comes to camping, at least. And as you begin to sleep, you just keep replaying the images through the day over and over again. The lizards, the hooded men, that big lizard-like dog, and the one that just keeps circling back is the shape of that dragon, that black shadow-like shape, just passing over and raining down fire. But every time you see that dragon in your dreams, you feel your father's sword in your hand and you look down on it. And in a dream state, everything kind of seems a little bit hazy. But when you see this sword, it's the most clear thing you've ever seen. And then you wake up. Go ahead and make another Arcana check for me.
12.
12? You pull the sword from its sheath, and you look at it. You feel chills begin to go over your arms. This doesn't seem like the same sword that you were holding yesterday. You feel as it's almost you have an attachment to it, like it's just now clicking. This is my father's sword, and I know this. And as you focus on that feeling of familiarity, a light shoots out of the sword. And you remember what Tarball said. Focus on the booming blade. And as you do so, your mind just fixated on just that one thought. The light points in a certain direction. Not necessarily this way, but it points in a direction. And you understand now. You understand why your father was so good at camping, at survival, and everything. It's because he can never get lost. Because with this sword, he was always able to find the one thing he was looking for, whatever it might have been at that time. And the one thing you're looking for now is that booming blade. So, knowing the direction you need to go now, you pack up what little bit of supplies you have, and you begin to tread through these woods once again, certain of the direction you're going. After a day and a half of tirelessly trekking through the woods and using your father's sword, you make it to the town of Phandalin. What do? You stand outside and you see a town bigger than yours. Like, if you had to put it into scale, it'd probably be 3-4 times bigger than yours. And you've heard stories coming from here about how the city's actually recently started growing because of the reopening of the mines here. So a lot of traffic is going through. There's a lot of people coming in and out of this town. And you begin to make your way down through the center road that leads through the center of town. What do?
Is this your play on Phandelver?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that was actually the first one. The town is called Phandalin.
I never went through Phandelver, so...
Right.
This is good for my character.
Well, the town is called Phandalin, but the mine was called the Mine of Phandelver.
Well,
yes.
See, I never played through it. Fuck off. So.
There you go. Hey, you people. You watched it. Tell him to go watch it. But anyway. So what do you do?
Is there a general store? No. Is there any magical places, shops?
You wouldn't really know. You could ask, but off the top of your head, you wouldn't know.
Okay, just tap a guard on the shoulder.
Okay, you walk around and you find somebody in...
I'm part of the city watch, so, I mean,
yeah,
it's not hard to
you would recognize one of these guys. So you tap him on the shoulder. What do you want?
Needed directions to the magic shop, any sort of magical business.
Magic?
Yes.
Well, I don't know much about magic, but if you head over to the general store, and he points you in the direction of the general store. If you head over there, they might have something.
I'll walk that way.
Okay. So you head into the general store, and as you open, you hear this bell ring, a little cling-a-ling, and you hear a voice, kind of high, shrillish voice, come out, or speak out, and say, "I did it!" But you don't see where this voice is coming from. You look around, and it's not that big of a shop. You notice there are some shelves lining the walls, and I'd say it's about a 30-foot by 30-foot store. Not that big. And then there's a counter, and then you notice there's a door. And you can only assume there's a back storage room behind that door. So not much to the interior of this store. But then you hear, "Yes?" As you notice a head start to come up from underneath the counter. As you notice a small gnomish man.
It's Wilfred.
It's not Wilfred. We've all suffered through Wilfred enough, I promise. I wouldn't do that to you. I'm nice. As this gnomish man climbs up and he sits down on what you can only guess to be a stool from behind there, and he says, "What can I do you for?"
Okay, I'm sorry to bother you, but would you have any knowledge of these? And I take the robes and the mask out just to see if he would know what they are, if they have any magical properties.
Right. He takes the robes.
Oh, could I inspect them real quick before he does anything? Just a quick glance to see if there's any, like, insignias, anything that just catches my eye that's, oh my gosh, I know where that might be, or something to note.
Let's see. Yeah, roll me an investigation check. We'll just say
8.
8. Nothing too much. Like I said, it just looks like plain black robes almost.
Okay.
But you hand them over to this gnomish shopkeeper, and he looks them over and says, nothing I can see. Where'd you get these?
From the people who ransacked my village.
Oh dear. When was this?
A day ago? It has been a day, right? What would you say?
Day and a half.
A day, maybe a day, maybe close to a second day.
Oh dear. Well, that's troubling indeed. But we used to have a problem with scandals like that. And then the knights came in and ran them all out. Those dirty fucking red brands. That's probably who attacked you. I bet. Because the knights ran them all out. Ran them out of business. Ran them out of our minds. Took care of that spider. So they've probably gone over to the next town over. Are you from Greenest?
Yes.
I knew it! I knew it! I knew it!
How much would you say these are then?
Not much. Although, I will say it's weird that if this is the Red Brand gang, that it's black. Because as the name gives, they always wear red. But these are nothing special.
At this point, he's just like...
Sorry. Maybe you can go and talk to the City Watch. Maybe they can help. Or, even better, you could probably go talk to our local sheriff. She should be in the inn right now. When she's not busy doing policing work, she's usually running the inn.
Do you know, are the knights in the inn too?
No, the knights are actually not in the inn. They're in their headquarters.
Where might that be?
Well, if you go down the road, and he gives you directions to lead you to
Okay.
there. So, where are you going to go? Are you going to go to the inn, or are you going to go to the knights' headquarters?
I guess I'll go talk to the inn first. Well, to the inn.
Go to the
the
inn.
inn.
I'm going to go talk to the
I'm
inn.
gonna go talk to the inn.
Hello, inn. You're a nice place. Okay, so you go into the inn, and you walk in front door. There's a small dining area up front, a few chairs and tables and stuff, a few patrons there, but nobody really catches your eye, and you notice there's a squat, blonde woman standing behind the counter who says, "How may I help you, dearie?"
That's not the sheriff, is it?
I don't know. You might have to ask.
Are you the sheriff of this town?
No. The sheriff is off handling business right now, but if you need to leave a message, I can take one for you.
Just let her know that... Oh, that would be weird. I'll find her. Do you know where the knights might be?
Oh, yes, and she gives you the same directions that the...
No one knows if they're there. They just,
They really don't know. It's one of those situations you might have to go and figure out.
Okay, I guess I'll walk and follow the directions that they both gave me.
Okay. As you approach the headquarters of the Knights, you walk up to the main door. You reach out your hand and you begin to knock. After a few frantic knocks, hoping, praying that they're there, you put your ear up to the door and you hear footsteps begin to approach as the door swings open. The sun somewhat blinding you, making you unable to make out the figure that stands in the doorway. You hear a voice call out, "Hello!"
Hi. Are the knights in the house, or are the knights here?
Why, yes, they are.
Yes.
Please, do come in. And as you walk into the front door by this strangely voiced person, you're still unable to make, as your eyes begin to adjust, you hear the door close behind you. And that's where we're going to end this session. So, thank you all very much for joining us for Will's one-shot to essentially get him to the Knights who say poi. And when we come back, everybody should be at the table now, and this is where we pick up on our run-through of Tyranny of Dragons. So, I want to thank you all for coming back to watch this second time around. Hopefully we do better this time than we did last time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click that notification bell, because as most of you know, we upload very sporadically at best. But hopefully we can try to keep a consistent schedule for these. I say that every time and it never works. But that being said, thank you all for joining us, and bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.